Hello, I'm Nick Naumof, and this is a very short presentation about System 1 and System 2 thinking. Now, we're going to start with an exercise, so please read out loud the words that you'll see on the screen and then answer the question that you're going to be asked. So let's start. Silk, silk, silk. What do cows drink? Well, if you answered milk, then you're wrong. Cows actually drink water. They give milk. And everyone consciously knows that cows drink water and not milk. But to this riddle, most people answer with milk. And this is because in our minds, the association between cows and milk is much stronger than the association between cows and water. And milk rhymes with silk. And when thinking of silk and cows, milk sort of makes intuitive sense. Now, we're going to do another exercise, and this is about doing math. So, square root of 4 is 1 multiplied by 2, 4 minus 3. Okay, now let's go to something more difficult. Square root of 17, 12 multiplied by 27, 217 minus 338. Now, the first three math operations, now anyone who went to school immediately knows the answer to them. But for the more complicated math operations, anyone who went to school and still remembers the rules can compute the answers using pen and paper. Let's talk a bit about speaking in foreign languages. When we speak in a language in which we are proficient or fluent, we speak without effort, without having to think about what words mean, without having to think what the right order in a sentence is, without having to think of which form of a verb is correct. Now, when we speak in a language in which we are not fully proficient in, and maybe a language that we learned after early childhood, we have to deliberately and consciously think about all the things above. All of these examples are illustrations of System 1 and System 2 thinking. Now, System 1 thinking is automatic, fast, unconscious, effortless, associative, based on personal experience and intuition, and it's always on, or in other words, is the default way of thinking. System 2, on the other hand, is deliberate, slow, conscious reasoning, effortful, logical and causal, based on formal rules acquired through formal learning, and needs to be switched on. In other words, it needs to be activated in order to start functioning. So, you can summarize System 1, more of a gut feeling, first thought, or impulsive reaction. And you can summarize System 2 as cold reason thinking, as thoughtful conclusions and strong arguments, and so on. You probably heard about System 1 and System 2 thinking from other sources, and this isn't very different from those other sources. Here's something that is not all that popular. First of all, what System 1 and System 2 are not. So, System 1 and System 2 are not different parts of the brain. System 1 and System 2 are not irrational and or respectively rational. And System 1 and System 2 are not good or bad. What they are, well, they are abstract representations of two modes of thinking that serve different purposes. And System 1 and System 2 interact a lot. And human behavior is driven by these interactions, not by System 1 or System 2 alone. Now, regarding System 1, there are some radically different views on it. So, we have Daniel Kahneman's view of System 1 and System 2 presented in Thinking Fast and Slow, but there's also Gert Gigerenzer's view on System 1, which he very nicely presents in the book Gut Feelings. And Kahneman and Gigerenzer are intellectual academic rivals, but I believe each of them is telling an important part of the truth. And if you're curious about learning more about System 1 and System 2, I strongly recommend reading both books and trying to find the commonalities and the middle ground. As conclusion, be thankful for System 1. Although imperfect for critical reasoning, System 1 is what makes us function. And System 1 is essential for achieving evolutionary goals such as survival and successful reproduction. It has a huge capacity of processing information and allows us to navigate our complex social environment. And System 1 uses simple rules of judgment to solve very complex problems such as throwing and catching. System 1 has evolved to solve problems in environments that are quite different from the one in which we live now. So, when learning about System 1 and System 2, many people are surprised to learn that humans do not fully follow the logic of economic rationality. But after learning about System 1 and System 2, for me the surprise was, why are we expected to follow the logical economic rationality? If you want to learn more about me and my activity, you can go on www.naumof.com, that is naumof.com. I'm Nick Naumof, and I thank you for your attention.